Alright, so I've got this classic tube brake line. This came with a big bend right here. All I did was press it up against the workbench, kind of slowly work it out. I got the majority of it worked out. It has two spots like that where they bend it so they can fit it in the box. This is the only one that has bends for shipping. It says right on here, shipping bend, so you know which one. You can see that. So you know which one you have to take out. I got the back flex line into the bulkhead with the clip. I had to search for my clip, but I found it, so I got that installed. That's got to go under the car and come up to the proportioning valve. I'm going to bring you over right now. Bring you over here. Let's get you on the inside here. My battery went dead on my flashlight, so on my headlight. So anyway, I got the proportioning valve mounted in there, and I've got the lines just literally just kind of laid in place. They're really not in place yet. A couple of them I started a thread or two just to kind of hold them. You can see that one looks like the bend might not be quite right, so I'll have to play around with that a little bit. But for the most part, everything looked good. Pretty happy with it. I'm gonna have to look up. I know I threw away all the clips or broke many of them, so I'm gonna have to look up what to do for clips to hold that stuff all in place. So I'll come back in a little bit. I'll have my light working. We'll get these lines tightened up and in place, and then I'll get that one under the car. I'm not sure if I'm going to show that, and then we've got a fuel tank to put in after that. Before I go too far, I just wanted to show this. I don't know if it's on every kit, and I actually didn't look. It was, these just said master cylinder, or the master cylinder line. It didn't say whether it was front or back. But it was pretty easy to tell because of the way the bends were. You wouldn't have been able to fit it. This one you wouldn't have been able to fit in there because the firewall would have been in the way. So, and obviously these have some extra protection on them for vibration and whatnot so that they don't rub on things. I got these started also, got them down there, and that's the one that on the proportioning valve that is, or distribution block, that's a little bit goofy. I've got all drum brakes still, so I believe that's just a distribution block. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, I'll continue on here and I'll bring you in when I have some more information. Alright, so right now I'm putting the sway bar on. Got it bolted both sides. At least got it started over there. And I'll get those torqued down, and I got the sway bar on. Left it black. Should look pretty nice. Should really stiffen up the back of this car. Another note on the QA1, I went ahead and I got all of the weight off the frame, or off the suspension, and I cranked up the bottom. I use my shadow of my finger here. So I cranked up this piece right here, cranked those up to get the slack out at the longest extension so that it's not loose if if we're to go to full extension. You don't want, didn't seem like that would be the right thing to do. So I've got them both set to approximately the same adjustment on both sides. I don't have the spanner wrench to lock those down, but I'll come up with something. Anyway, I'll get those locked down because basically the bottom one is a jam nut to keep the top one from turning. So I have, it's just mentioned before, I tightened the bolts on the trailing arms, okay, but don't torque them. So you got to leave these actually a little bit loose. Don't torque them. And the thing is you don't want to torque them until you have the full weight on the car. So I'm going to probably actually drive it up to the alignment shop when I get this all done. I mean, they're tight, but they're not, they're not torqued down. When I get them up there, he has a lift. He can put it up on a lift and have the full weight on the suspension when I do those. The other thing, I suppose I could jack it up on the pumpkin again. But now that I got the sway bar in here, that might be a little bit harder to do. I could jack it up on the axle and then tighten those down. But I have them tight, but not torqued down. Just as so you, if anybody had caught that last time, you run into that problem. Apparently with the nylon bushings you can, but with these rubber bushings you don't want to tighten them down until they're kind of at the neutral position. Just wanted to mention something. So I measured the frame height off of the floor on both sides when it was down all the way, and they're even. My bumper is off by about 3/8 of an inch, but this car had been in a bad wreck. You can see they didn't do a very good job on the body panel here. So this bumper is actually the part that's crooked. When I had it before, I was about a 2-inch difference because I actually had a bent trailing arm. Oops, sorry about the focus there. I actually had a bent trailing arm, so she wasn't level. So she is level now. I checked that after I got everything installed. But you can see this is kind of boogered up in here. I'll eventually get that redone when I get the body redone. So the lower trailing arm comes right into there, into the mount. On the top of that mount on the back is a hole. That's where the parking brake cable pokes through. Let me do that and then I'll take a picture of it once it's through there. Alright, that's what it looks like when it's through there. This gets a clip in it, just like the other brake lines that go through the bulkheads or your flex lines. And there's a little slot in the back of this cable and kind of holds that a little bit solid so that whole thing doesn't slide. All right, got those tightened down. I'm going to do all the rest now. I bought some clips to hold the brake lines in place. Let me show you those. I bought these rubberized clips because I really don't like the metal ones. The metal ones could rub. I like the rubberized ones because you can clamp them down. And, you know, they're going to hold, but they won't rub. If there's any vibration, it won't rub through the line. Been doing a lot of little stuff on the car, like these little brackets that hold the line in place so they don't rattle around. I don't have the back line on, so the line that goes from the back of the car up to the distribution block, I don't have that on yet. Everything else is tight. I did manage to get the sway bars on. Super simple process there. Really nothing to show at all. Just a lot of little stuff. You can see I've got the parts for the tank. I've got the straps laying there. Got the tank over here and prepped. I got the hose on past the quick disconnect barb, so I can put a hose clamp on that. It's just sucking. We're not using any high pressure pumps or nothing like that, so that'll be plenty good. We'll get that up under the car. I got my NICOP line that I'll have to bend. So when I get to that, I'll bring you along for the highlights. Thanks everybody for watching, following along. Please like and subscribe as usual. This is going to be so much fun when I can finally get that engine back there. Yep, there she sits. So when I get that engine back there, back in the car, won't be long. I'm working my way from the back up to the front, and we're getting there. All right, everybody, thanks. Have a great day, and see you in the next video.